Right, okay, so I've just finished filming shoot 3, 4, and 5. I basically called them 3, 4, and 5 because it indicates like the different imagination sequences that I did, but then I also put them all into folders. So I've got I already filmed and edited my first imagination sequence. That's why it says imagination sequence 2, 3, and 4. I did all these on the same day, but to make it a lot easier, I just renamed these as different shoots instead. So this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. Does that make sense? And then I put them all into one big folder, and then I split up all the footage, all the different shots that I did, and put them into these different imagination sequences because just to save time and organisation and all that stuff. But yeah, it would have just saved me a lot of effort instead of sifting through a massive folder of footage. Right, okay, so this first sequence, if you've not seen my video tutorial effects that I found on YouTube that I was going to do these effects from, these are just the clips. Well, these are just all the different effects and clips that I need to film, but I'll explain it once I go through it. But I basically needed to film all of these bits at a certain, like with certain shots and certain props and stuff to make these effects work. But yeah, I'll explain them all individually. In a minute. So first things first with this one is I put a bit of green fabric on the floor so that one, my actor knew where he was walking to, and second is the car can drive over, like directly over the green piece of fabric, so he knows. Like, so it's just easier for me to edit once in post with the car and the actor.
I'm taking it.
So basically, the car coming? That wasn't the right car. That was a different car. So yeah, I basically asked Tom to come.
Yeah, you're right. We've actually get hit by actually get hit by a car.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use. See how I come and take the green bit off. I'm gonna use this now.
To do it one more time.
This flat piece of footage. I'm gonna use that as like my background plate. So I'll have this underneath all my different layers so that this will be like a safety net for all my other clips, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be having this underneath everything, and then I'm going to have my actor walk in with this.
Actually get hit by a car. Can you do that again, but like kind of like lift your head up, so like this maybe? Alright, yeah.
I've just realised it's going to be quite difficult to crop. I'm going to have to mask out. You see this part of green here and like the bits of tape because they're reflecting off the sun. I might have to mask that out, which is quite annoying. But
Yeah, it's good.
that's a good one. I'm probably going to use that one.
Matt!
There's me shouting Matt to drive his car. Yeah, this was another thing. People kept walking past and other cars kept driving past as well, but I can't really fix that because I can't tell the public to not be in a public area. So it was quite funny actually. This was another car that came. Oh wait, was this Matt? Yeah, that's Matt. He then goes around and does it again, but a bit quicker. But then I think another car ends up driving past. Yeah, a van. And there's another car. Literally, I thought this road was going to be quite quiet, but it's not. It really isn't.
You can go faster if you want.
Yeah, there's Matt again.
He's gonna fucking...
Yeah, so I'm probably going to use... Yeah, I think I've got enough footage. This was this car. That's really good. I might actually use that truck because it's so like out of the blue and it like comes across the screen. I might actually use that instead of Matt's car. I'm not sure. I'll figured it all out in a minute. Oh yeah, and cars kept like trying to come past, so Matt had to let them out, and me and Tom were just laughing. Yeah, he had to wait for a car, and then he drove past, and then he got angry, so he went round and did it again. Yeah, there it is. There it is, yeah, but he didn't really go over it, and then I just come over and rip it off. So yeah, basically that's that. So with these clips, I'm gonna have Tom. I'm gonna try and explain this as best as I can. So I'm gonna have Tom. He's gonna be in one mask. I'm gonna have this shot. This will be in another layer, and then I'm gonna have the car in another layer, and then I'm gonna have Tom here, and then that background plate underneath everything. So then I'll key out the green, try and get rid of all this as best as I can, and then I'm gonna mash them all together, and then have him like go over the car, if that makes sense. There's this, I think it's called like the puppet whip tool or something in After Effects, where you can basically make like a skeleton over Tom. So you click a point here, click a point here, click a point here, and like go all the way around his skeleton, and then you can screenshot. Then you can freeze frame him, and then have him morph over the car. So yeah, that's that basically. And then these other clips are they're just tracking shots. I'm gonna warp stabilize. Oh my god, that's really bad. That is really bad.
Yeah.
It's probably a better one. Yeah, that's a better one. I'm gonna warp stabilize it so it doesn't look as wobbly. But I think I'm sure I filmed another bit. Have I just took it from the wrong? Yeah, these shots here. These aren't supposed to be in here. These are supposed to be in here. Yeah, because then I remember doing an over the shoulder shot. Yeah, these are based, yeah. You know what an over the shoulder shot looks like. These are just from different ranges, but it just gives me a bit more room to edit. Right, so Imagination Sequence 3. This was quite difficult because we had so many takes of Tom trying to throw a pizza box over his head, and that might sound simple, but when there's a pizza box and there's nothing in it, a pizza box can just do whatever it wants, and we can't get a good take. So basically, I filmed Tom. I asked him to. Oh god, yeah. There's just like so much stuff going on. Like this was me trying to put to tape the box up. I'm gonna delete this one because that's nothing. An old lady decides to start walking. Let's get rid of that.
Right, when you're ready.
This one. Right, so yeah, basically I asked him to go over here, act like he pulls out his phone, he sees a car coming, and then he has to drop to the floor, throw a pizza box over his head, and then drop to the floor. But to act like the car's driving over him, does that make sense? And then he just does that a few times. And the pizza box kept hitting the car. So basically we filmed that quite a few times. And then we ended up filming... Oh yeah, by the way, these shots are all on tripods because if I filmed all these handheld, it'd just be impossible for me to do these effects. Well, it wouldn't be impossible, but I'm not that good at After Effects. So... And then he does it again, does it a few more times. The pizza box kept like not going high up. See, it'd do that, it'd like spin around and then land on the floor. I want it to like go high up so that when it cuts to this part, which part is it? Is this part? He has to get up. So I'm gonna cut as the car drives over him. I'm gonna cut to this clip. And me throwing a pizza box back as if it's just come back from the sky, and then he's supposed to catch it. Oh, I think we got one good take. I think it was right at the end. This one. Yeah. Did you hear me then?
did it, finally. Right, should we get Matt in now?
There's me waving Matt to drive over the piece of green fabric.
I'm knackered.
Yeah, cool. Right, so that's this one, and then I literally just did the exact same thing. I did the exact same thing with these. Just I did a normal tracking shot, and then I did an over-the-shoulder shot. But yeah, I'll sift through these to find the best ones anyway. This one's a little bit different. This shot, well, this imagination sequence, because there's so many different effects in this one that I need to kind of get my head around. These are basically just like entrance shots of just Tom entering, getting close to the door of the house. So I'm not going to show you them because they're pretty boring. And then these are some of Tom acting like he's knocking on a door. And then my dad's just he just kept making him laugh, and it was really annoying, but it was quite funny at the same time.
For God's sake!
He's gonna fucking get there, you're like staring with the camera.
Oh, what am I supposed to do?
But yeah, we did a load of them takes, and then my dad.
Dad, please.
I'm having pizza. No? Okay.
But yeah, it was quite.
Really sorry, mate.
He struggles to open the door here, hang on.
I just struggle opening that.
I need to do a behind the scenes outtakes thing because this is just too funny.
Dad.
Have all these props.
Right, I'm not really getting anywhere with this. So yeah, I just did quite a few of them, but the main ones that I need is this one.
Right, when you're ready, Dad.
Well, not hang on, more this one, this shot.
I'll try it from this side.
Same going to say.
Yeah. Oh, fucked it up. Hang on. Sorry.
I'll not get that lip same as before.
And then
Just gonna point
Yeah,
at
yeah,
me, innit?
Yeah.
That'll do. Which hand was it to these?
You're right.
You're right. You're right, Andy. Yeah.
so yeah, basically he shoots him.
Yeah.
That's basically it in a nutshell. And then, but with these effects, is I'm gonna have this shot,
Right, when you're ready.
this one. Well, that one, and this one. It's going to be quite difficult to match the two clips, but I'm just going to have to find the best one possible for it, and then I'm going to have Tom point the gun like this, but you're going to see the back of my dad's head, and you're going to see Tom through his head, if that makes sense. And I just got a blank slate there. So I'm going to have a hole in his head here, so then you'll see Tom through it. But yeah, I'm going to have to create like a texture in Photoshop of like something that I can place on his head here. But that'll be quite difficult, so I don't know how long that'll take me, but if it takes me too long and it's just too difficult, I'll just use this one. You know, like I do with my hand blog. I'll obviously crop this green out, make an inside to his head, and then put that blank slate behind him so it looks like he's got a hole in his head. But yeah, I think that's about it. I'm gonna get on with some editing and I'll do another one of these videos explaining like how I edited the Imagination Sequence 2, 3 and 4. I'm not sure, it might not be today that I finish it, I'll probably be like next week or something, but yeah, see you in the next video.